Great.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Our first item of business is general public comment. Do we have any public comment? Everybody's excited to get on to the other side. Approval of September meeting and workshop minutes. Everybody had a chance to review those?
Yes.
Okay,
I move for the approval.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Dustin, I will turn it over to the staff report to you. Turn it over to you for the staff.
For social media, we live streamed our meeting on Facebook. We uploaded those videos to YouTube. We posted photos from the Plateau Valley football game, and I must say that was the most interactions we've ever gotten from any social media post we've done, even our exciting meetings that we live stream. So, they're very exciting. We posted photos from the Town of DeBeck Sidewalk Improvements Project that they have submitted for their grant payment, and those look really good, and that our meeting agenda had been posted. So we don't have any earned media at this time. And so grants requesting payment is the final payment for the Town of DeBeck for $10,000. Okay, sorry, just thinking about that. So here's some pictures from it. So 88.
Last time I thought it was pretty rough before the.
Mhm.
Pretty rough.
They look really nice. And then here is from when we attended the Friday Night Lights up at Plateau Valley. Their board came out and presented us with the football. And this is a picture of their new track and football field and the lights. My wonky piano. There's Bobby and Quinn. They custom made a football with their colors and then wrote on it, and so Bobby has it in her office, so just as a thank you. It's really sweet. And then it was packed, so I actually heard somebody say that the problem they have now is they need more bleachers. So, which was really, yeah, exactly, it was really good. It was great. And then we have our sign, and I ordered a bigger sign for them because that one's really small. I went to pick it up and they couldn't find it, so I'll work on that this week. So
I think they just made that one as a temporary.
they did, and so the other one has already been. They said it was made, they just couldn't find it when I went to go pick it up.
Awesome signs, people are stealing them.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's a good problem to have. I mean, don't stick them on everything, but stick
It's in my office.
Yeah, it's with the football, it's in glass case. It's a key safe.
Second, they want.
Weird.
So, invoices for September are for me for $4,075.55. That's for the grant binders and for our GoDaddy renewal that we had to do for, I think I did 3 years for each one. And then our post box renewal for $360. And then our upcoming events is our board meeting on November 19th, where we do our grant contracts and approve our budget. And then our first meeting of the year will be January 21st, 2026. So that's it.
That's
That's it.
all right, thank you. Do we have any questions for Dustin?
No, sir.
Comment that was very nice at Plateau Valley and was pretty excited to have their own lights. Be able to have night games and.
Yeah.
They were very.
It was amazing, the lights were amazing. They did have one of their older generated operated lights out by their concessions. We walked over there.
Yeah.
Whoa, I mean, if it's a generator, it's putting off some serious stuff. So
Exhaust.
I'm like, how do you do the whole football game with
Yeah.
all of those lights? There's a lot. So the fact that you could walk and not breathe in a bunch of exhaust, I mean, that's amazing. So thankful that we have that kind of funding to be able to support our schools and our community in that way. It's just really special to see it in action. So yeah.
Lots of other new ballgame.
No, they,
No, actually, yeah, they were on a winning streak until that game and
Yeah.
felt kind of bad about that.
yeah, they were going to be excited, but
Yeah.
we don't get to. We have a lot of great events. This is one of the ones that you really got to see the results were more visible.
Yeah.
With that one, but
Well, even going up, I was kind of worried at 7, it wouldn't be dark enough. I thought, oh man, they got lights and it's not gonna be, no, you could see those lights from so far away. I was like, yep, there they are. There's the football field. So, yeah, they were really excited. It was awesome. So,
well, we'll just have to make an effort to get out to more of these ribbon cuttings and things like that because it is fun.
mhm.
Any questions for Dustin? All right, hearing none, we approval of the staff report and invoicing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any
Sorry.
opposed? Any opposed? Okay, thank you. And you never usually did that on.
No.
We are ready for our review of our grant scores
Okay,
and awards. Hope you start that
so
off.
you guys wanna turn around? So this is the first time anybody but me is seeing this.
Yeah.
So right now, the town of DeBack scored 48 out of 60. And then for the mini grants, we have Gateway scored 44.7 out of 60. Town of Palisade scored 46.3 out of 60. Caprock scored 43.3 out of 60, and Chipeta Elementary School scored 38.7 out of 60. Which means these are ranked in order of highest scoring to least scoring.
And.
So we are in an unusual predicament. We've never encountered this before. We have $500,000 available for funding. And we have more available than is being asked for. So usually I come up with funding option A, B, and C because we're trying to break everything up and we don't have enough money. This time, I don't really have to do that. It's really going to come down to you guys and how the scores are. So if you go to funding option A, remember we talked about the grading score and passing scores. You can see these over here to see how they ranked. And if you guys wanted to fully fund everything, the total grant would be awards would be $348,781, leaving a remaining balance of $151,219.
So if we award all these. 151 was push ahead the next cycle.
Yep, we could do a lot. We have about 2 million left over on county for
That's the current balance
Yeah.
right now.
Okay.
That
doesn't-
just includes the funding that just happened, so that
Okay.
doesn't include the 400 that you've got already on there to pay out, so.
Okay.
Is there questions or comments? Comments? Not often down. You see the
Maybe we should ask for more.
but yeah, that.
Always come back in the next grant. It's
That's
like,
right. Everybody will get a shot, there'll be more money for the next year. Does anybody, based on this, are there any concerns with granting all of these requests?
Not for me.
I mean, I think that it's such a benefit to get out to the community where it can serve the people, and the sad fact that it's never gonna be as cheaper as it is today to build some of these infrastructure projects, and it's only gonna get more expensive. It is better served, I believe, in the community. Um, Do we have Chipita in here?
Yes,
I think there was some grant, application things that were missing from your guys' application, so just moving forward.
Okay.
I think it was D and E and some of the questionnaires were not completed. So I think that was for me why, and there was a lower score and, it just wasn't completed, so I had nothing to go off of on that. So just in the future, just, there was just some few things that were.
Thank you. I can also look into that and give you any of those answers. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Is,
okay.
is this your first time? What's
Yes.
this? Yeah. Dusty put on a workshop, and I'm sure she'll be
Mhm.
happy to talk to you about, getting some of them. And, this is basically,
I think for us in the D and E questionnaire, it might have been new too, but, we're just looking at, is this going to last? What is the, depreciation on this and those kind of questions, so we want the money to go towards more sustainable things where it might last past like 7 years or something like that, so they just had some questionnaires, so it was a little hard to gauge, because we didn't have any of that. Just,
Yeah. And I'm wondering if we were working off of last year's. I'm wondering if we really failed there.
Yeah,
Because
because the
that question I
application,
didn't.
yeah, there's
I
two
don't
new that
even
were added,
know.
they were part of the qualifying questions, so you probably might have been working off last year's.
I'm so sorry.
that's okay.
I can also get, we could also do that.
No,
I think reality should be a longer lasting. Project. The excess funds, my thoughts are we just apply it to the next grant cycle. I don't know that we can put that in a permanent fund if we have that option. I think that would change our limits there. But I think I would think it'd be better to leave that money out in that grant fund.
yeah, I agree.
Any other thoughts on that? Well, this is, you want to drag it out? You want to leave your one hand? Do I hear a motion to accept, all grant requests and, push the remaining balance out to the next grant cycle?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right, thank you all. Like, everybody gets their money.
Thank you, guys.
Fun to say that.
Thank you so much.
There's always somebody disappointed. Usually somebody disappointed, nice to make everybody happy. This month.
and moving forward, with grants, and Betsy does put on a really good workshop, I think is really informative. It makes sure that if you have any questions in real time, she can answer them. We did add a few, we just beefed up the application process a little bit, because these are just questions that we were kind of answering, so it was good to have those. We're not necessarily looking for like items that can depreciate quickly or are not gonna last. So like the funding for sidewalks or funding for the lights that you saw, it's something that is tangible, we can feel it, it's a service. So, just keep those in mind when you guys are applying for updating grants or just moving forward in the community too. It can be a resource for us. The Mineral Lease District is looking for these things, and we love funding school projects and buildings and things that people can really have a tangible something that they can really see. So, and we'll be there for a while.
We are seeing better, our applications were much better thanks to your workshop. That the applications are much better, good job, but there were a couple of things missing. And so.
The only thing I would say is, I think every time, not every time, but a good percentage of the times when I'm done scoring these grants, I'm like, why are we doing this way? So I've got some questions about how the questions are structured, and the pass-fail questions
Yep.
seem to make more sense on the traditional grants than the small ones.
Yeah,
Cause I was looking at that saying, I thought I would, so before you do the seminar.
yes,
If
We need
we're
to go
gonna
through that
change
again.
our structure, we'll do that.
Yep.
Have a workshop and discuss that, or however you wanna do that.
I'm fine with doing that, yeah, because it got called into question a few times, which is fine. We just are ever tweaking, which is good.
You've got one question that you brought up. I think we're gonna have that to the agenda next
Mhm.
month, and we'll talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Our attention.
For next month?
No, for the workshop.
No, it'll be next year. Sometimes.
Just-
We're just trying to, well, we're gonna go through and do our budgets and then figure out.
Sure, sometime in January, February.
Usually do it closer to the grant cycle opening, that way it's fresh and everybody can kind of just start going on it. Yep.
And some past things that have been awarded, I think would be helpful too. We did was it 200,000 for CMU's Asteria Theater? Their shell, how much did we get them? I can't remember.
It's about 175.
Oh, yes, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. We did a ball field grass replacement for the ball field out in Palisade, was one of our more recent item.
Stoker Stadium, the
Stoker
church there,
Stadium.
Stoker.
And I know Caprock was largely funded by, early on, the Mineral Lease District.
Yeah, we funded the, let's see,
School lot.
parking lot out in front, the driveway, we funded that.
Do we
And,
have any more like big ticket items that you guys can recall?
well, the problem, the challenge has been that, because there's less mineral activity,
Yeah.
mineral extraction activity, we're getting less money, and so with the less money, funding important grants they're at cross purposes to each other, and so, that's what, but this 151,000 is gonna help next year.
That will help next year,
Yeah.
boost next year, towards more.
They did the CMU Tech Lineman building, the new
Oh,
lineman
that's right.
worker building. You did that one. And then the other two big ones too were Fruta and Palisades downtown improvement street projects where like they did the beautification and the walkways and they funded that as well. So making it more pedestrian friendly. Those are kind of more bigger projects that maybe people don't know about.
Absolutely. So I just think that's important when you guys are applying for grants. If there are those bigger projects, don't be afraid to put those in and submit for those things, especially the things that are lasting and maybe some infrastructure. Don't be afraid to put those in.
And flexibility helps, your ability to, flexibility on your projects. One of the things that helps your score is if you have a backup plan. If you're not just counting on our money. If you've got a backup plan that says you'll do this no matter what. Here's what's gonna happen, it's gonna come out of the city's funds or whatever. If you've got a backup plan, we know that you feel strongly enough about the project that you'll see that it continues no matter what. That helps us with our score. So, I know we see several where, the answer to that was, we're gonna make it happen, and they take us 6 months longer or whatever, but we're gonna make it happen. That helps. Any questions?
Just a big thank you for all your hard work and looking those over, and it's much appreciated.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing your dog out there.
Absolutely. I brought my escrow today. This is Greg Byerly. He'll be the one.
You're the one paying with the dog?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, this just goes to show, it's like their award now can help us.
Yeah.
We can help their canine train in our school and vice versa.
Yep.
Going on school on Fridays, so they can hit some lockers or train with no kids involved and not have to worry about that. So it's great that we can kind of interact and help each other out. In these ways, and so you guys are a big part of that, so it goes far beyond just kind of handing us a check and saying thanks. We can actually help each other out, and grow them and grow that canine a little bit better, while us helping what we want to grow as well. So
I think that would be a valuable asset out there. So,
Yeah.
help a lot of situations, head off a lot of situations. So, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, Kathy, I know you've been waiting. Opportunity. We'll move on to the review of the financial.
Yeah, so, did receive the grant monies this go around, so that's why the fund balance is up over the 2 million. Because it got funded this month as well, so that money goes into that account until you pay it out and whatnot. With part of that money, you have slated for it to pay some of the grants, there's 488 that's been slotted already on this grant cycle to pay. But also part of that money needs to go into the permanent fund for the budget from last year, so. That will all help reduce that $2 million amount right there, but it'll also increase the 3.7 that's in the permanent fund. But then that will decrease by the, well, actually, that's not gonna decrease, because all that money is gonna come out of that 2 million, I apologize for that. So that's the balance sheet in a nutshell, you're sitting pretty healthy on that regard. The 659 that came in this month is less than what we had budgeted, unfortunately. Not a whole lot less than what was budgeted to come in, but it did hit there. And then we just have the regular monthly expenses that were paid out. Including invoices for us, Bailey and Dusty and Adobe. And then down at the bottom of the P&L right here, we see the permanent fund, the ebbs and the flows on that. There was a realized gain of 92,000 during this period, as well as interest and dividends of a little over $14,000. So that was really good too. All increases the permanent fund balance right there. So once again, this is just the breakdown of the 488 that's on the sheet to be paid. And then the budget to actual, like say the top line there, we received about $29,000 less than was originally budgeted last year. So thankful that it's up that high, but a little disappointed it wasn't up as high as we were hoping, but still positive in the end. So that's kind of the financials in a nutshell. Are there any particular questions for me or?
Any questions?
No.
No, thank you. Let's see, we're under the require, we don't have to make anybody deductions more well under the.
Yeah. We haven't overspent.
Yeah,
We're under.
That's a big thing. We're good. Thank you, Dust. Thank you, Kathy. I'm here on my motion to accept financials as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, any folks? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And then, draft of the new budget.
So we're looking at the column highlighted in yellow on the far right here. So you can see right to the left of that, this is the actual budget, our actual numbers right now. So we did just get 659 this period for the receipts. Next year with the information that's published on the Colorado's website, we're projecting to be 864. Obviously that, who knows where that's gonna land. I hope that that's true, but as you can see in the prior couple of years, that's not where it's been. So I think you guys need to think about what you really want to put right there. Iowa Sky's great, but hard to say. So we've kind of kept the budget amounts for the expenses the same as what they have been. We've just done a minimal increase to the contract labor in that section. And then we have $550,000 right now currently in the grants to be awarded to next year, but now that we have 151,000 excess from this grant cycle, that number might need to be adjusted. Depending on what we truly think that the revenues are going to be for that particular period. And another area that we really haven't put too much information into is the permanent fund ebbs and flows. Obviously, since that fund has grown, since we put it into place, I don't think that $40,000 for interest and dividends is accurate, but also we're not necessarily doing anything with the monies that's in this permanent fund. We're letting them reinvest and continue to grow that permanent fund. So, we can totally update the number for the income for the particular fund if you'd like. Currently, right now, we're sitting at $130,000 of income for the year on that account, so 40,000 is quite low. But once again, that's the end goal is to grow that way going forward. What you get in interest and dividends, that would be the money that you potentially can give out in future grant cycles when the funding stops or.
It'd be about 95,000 for 2026, based on current deal in the portfolio. And then 3.7 million balance, so. The one, yeah. What's that?
95?
95, yeah.
We should probably. We should have a more accurate figure than that does not fall.
We're slightly over about a 2.5% yield on the portfolio as a whole. So.
We should get it investment. Obviously, the investment fees are a little low too, I think, in the past and from what we're.
Well, that's all net, so it'd be 95 net.
Okay,
Except
95 net.
return, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. But is there any other changes or questions right now? This was just a preliminary kind of snapshot of where we're at.
So they're generally low on the.
They're generally high. The rest.
Yeah, they're generally high on what we actually get. I don't know how we estimate when they're gonna come in. Other than round down a little bit.
Well, we could look at the percentage difference in the last 2 years and apply that, average that, and apply that percentage difference to it would be
24, pretty significant.
making an educated guess instead of a yes.
24.
Was it 32? Is that what it is?
That is currently the between the two
Yeah.
rates that they're doing, they're projecting a 31% increase, but I think if we. I don't. I think less than that, I think we cut it in half, I mean, I don't know, but this is all pulled off their websites and.
Does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
Does it make sense?
This,
Yeah,
or what you said?
no, what I say never makes sense.
What you said, Nick.
No, you have common sense. It always
During
makes
the
sense.
industry,
This,
do you see a reason for growth there?
yeah, there's been a lot of drilling in the last year, but we're talking about growth for. This is based on 24, 25. I see a lot of growth in 26. I don't see that significant growth in this next cycle. There has been a lot of drilling this summer. There's been a lot of new wells come on, which is where we're getting most of our growth.
Yeah.
And a couple big ones will come on, but they won't show up in our budget until
Right,
27,
27.
26, 27 budget, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see. Prices were better, much better than the prior year. Yeah, I don't see that kind of growth. I'd say that our number is gonna be closer to 750. And that would be, I would think that would be a better budget number. What do you?
I'd rather bring lower expectations.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, then you kind of shocked.
And if it's greater than that, then that's fine, but.
Yeah. Absolutely. Or we could say $760,000 haircut like that, but I don't see how they're gonna get to that, because this is 24, 25 production, not that more, a little better prices, but not anymore.
Yeah, it'd take them a minute to get ready.
Yeah. Maybe we adjust that to 750, 760.
I agree with that. Yeah.
They take 100,000 off 760. And then we can add a 151 to our
That'll help.
150 to 151 on the bottom line,
So 706.
550. And I don't feel anything else. And then,
Yes,
I
update.
think we can take, Matt's numbers.
And 250 to the permanent fund is a contribution. Do you guys feel comfortable with that number again? We've been pretty consistent with that the last
Yeah, I think so.
3 years.
Absolutely.
We did want to build
Yeah.
up. If something changes, if something changes in my number vote, we can. That would be, one of the. Anything else you guys think? Jesse?
No, and this was my best guess. Based on what we had, so.
All right, we'll proceed with those changes and we will review that in November.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Are you guys okay after she makes the changes for me to post it, the draft budget?
Yes.
Okay,
That'll be fun. Okay. Do I have to approve that staff budget with those changes? We don't have to approve the draft budget, we just looking.
Probably not.
no, because we'll post it for public comment and then we won't approve anything until next month after we review. Okay.
Yeah. Bring it up to you.
Yeah, the permanent fund's doing well still, about 13% year to date. Which is about $422,000, $425,000. The actual balance as of today, we're down slightly from what we have there, about $5,000. So pretty much the same, but you're liking that. And then 7.6% annualized since inception. So returns are doing really well. We did that rebalance we talked about last time, where we shifted out about $185,000 of equity to more conservative, and the market's pretty much flat since we did that. So I wouldn't say it's a victory or a failure yet, but those are little adjustments we make over long-term investment management. So I don't expect fireworks. Government shutdown hasn't really impacted the market at all, and it's seem to be going to happen soon, but we'll find out. And then let's see, bond duration is about 4.5 on the portfolios, right where we want to be. So all's good. We're having a client luncheon next Tuesday, but I don't know if you guys is the board getting invites to that, but if you didn't get in, I mean, of course you're welcome. I'd love to have you. It's like an economic update in the CME ballroom, Tuesday at 11:30. And lunch will be provided.
I did do that.
You did,
Yeah.
Okay.
I forwarded it to you guys when I got it to
When
you,
you
just to make sure, yeah, so I got it and then sent it to you guys.
I'm not gonna be on that. If you do,
I just Tuesdays are for me time.
Usually Tuesdays are good days for me, but not next week.
But no, the portfolio is doing great. I think everything's where we want. So
Any questions on the portfolio? All we're balanced right now.
yeah, I mean the stock market, the US stock market itself is up like maybe almost 12% this year. So the fact that we're up 13, really good for the moderate first target. Large parts due to international allocations. That's outperformed a lot this year. Dollars declined about 10%. Dollar index. So
Seems like just yesterday we're concerned with the national report.
yeah, we're kind of like waiting on the next geopolitical crisis right now. Not sure what it's gonna be. We got the government shutdown. That's not proving sufficient. So somebody's gonna, come up with something else to rattle markets.
What do you think about the Fed rate? Do you think they'll lower it?
Yeah, there's pretty much there's the today. So I think it's a Fed meeting. So drop a quarter point in October. I haven't seen anything yet.
That's kind of already been factored in the market.
It's already investing. I would say even another quarter point in December. If there's one thing I was concerned about, or would be, it's that bond market seemed to not care what the Fed did when they dropped in September. So it's always been nice to think the Fed has that influence and we can kind of control markets with ignorant policy like that. But you know, if the bond market says, hey, we don't care if you're dropping, we're gonna still price in inflation, then that kind of, it just usually dulls the teeth of the Fed a little bit. To be able to help if there's, you know, more student issues, but the labor market seems pretty fine, the housing market seems stable, so there's not a lot of cause for concern. A lot of people starting to see maybe how as, you know, as he kind of might be on his way out, wants to just end on a good note. That's why it's being very accommodative all of a sudden, so who knows? But they maintain their data dependency and, you know, it's very small adjustments and the data, there hasn't been anything compelling inflation or unemployment yet to say, okay, we gotta do something.
Seems like if they didn't adjust in December and have it, they'd have more impact than.
I think so, yeah, I think so. Gold is at an all-time high, that's really interesting, $4,200 an ounce, and it's, you know, it's sovereign buyers. So a lot of other countries are buying that gold in big quantities. Gold is, I think we can talk about this next week too, but like gold is short-term kind of market timing place, almost like a, you know, so it's, if I only want gold right now, I'm probably looking to sell it. At $4,200 an ounce, it had its huge pop. So you never know how high those things go to. There's no underlying cash flow, which is why we don't own any investment portfolios like this. So the best we could do to buy it in an account like this would be like a GLD. There's an expense ratio on that, and then it's so you almost have like a negative expected return goal in a portfolio. So I'd rather own bonds, things that are again over 2.5% yield, we just talked about. The cash being there.
If you're buying physical gold, the cheapest place to buy it is Walmart.
Oh, really?
What?
They sell, no,
Now you
they
know.
sell.
It's Costco. I thought Costco had a good deal on gold.
They sell bullion, Walmart is the best deal, the rate at Walmart is gas. And you guys don't want to hear this in the law enforcement, we send it to you in a box, it's like a shoebox. And inside of it is another box, and inside of it's another box, and inside that's another box, and there is.
Oh, you order it, you don't watch.
You order it, you just order it online and they send it to you.
I know where I'm making my Christmas list.
No.
Well, it makes sense.
That's crazy. I mean, all the safety procedures we have to go through in your world.
Shoebox.
And they send, gold in a FedEx delivery to you.
In a Russian
doorstep,
shoebox, or
shoebox.
cruise ship, or, you know,
It
whatever
makes
it is.
perfect sense. In fact, they can't believe it.
Guys in law enforcement are going, oh my god.
Walmart makes money on inefficiencies, right? Like, hey, tighten spreads, you know, thin out the margins. And gold, if you buy physical gold, which is why I try to encourage clients not to buy a lot, is this so margins or the spreads are so wide. I mean, the market price is $42 an ounce for gold, or $4,200. If you went on your average site, you're probably gonna pay $4,500.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
it's just-
Nice.
And then you turn around, you change your mind, oh, I don't want it, unless you're gonna sell it for $3,800 an ounce. Like, there's just really wide spread, so Walmart's in there.
They basically cut it in half, is what they've done. I called them, questioned that, they said, it's insured, don't worry about it. Okay,
In lot shipping.
yeah, shipping, yeah, so, insured, so, they don't. Apparently that's how it's run.
Camouflage in the shoebox.
Yeah.
No.
Big bomb.
So she asked for jewelry and you bought it.
Bars.
Makes total sense. That's why you're out and then moose hunting all the time.
Yeah, they really wouldn't see a lot of. If you want to win your stuff, if you want some ground brownie points and your wife asks for gold.
Transaction on the tax return, oh, come on, don't give them that.
Oh. Unscheduled, any other questions? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I will go back, talking about Walmart and gold. Unscheduled business, I would like to have add to the agenda for next month. What question was
The
that?
grant scoring, it was on the mini grant.
Great questions.
Yes, grant
Question.
questions is one particular, we'll just
Yep.
review the grant question as a whole. And we can go to that particular one.
Yeah.
And make sure we're clear on that. Other unscheduled business, we have an investment advisory agreement from Matt. Usually we have Chris look at these. Matt, this is just a correction to a current.
Yeah, the previous, and I apologize, if there's a better way to present that, like give it to Dusty to have you guys start, give it to Chris review first, we can do that. It was basically, our last one had an error in it, there was it was legal verbiage, where one clause said like, this is the assignability of this contract, and then one right below it said this is the assignment, it was like, so we just cleaned that up, it was a mistake. And I think that's the only change in there, no change to use any other stuff, so. But I'd say take your time and follow whatever process is we need to do if there's.
I think we're just correcting the typo, we can go ahead and do this now. This is review.
I think Chris needs to review it,
I will,
just in case of
I will have
some
some
law.
review that, make sure that there's nothing. Hold that, we'll have Chris review.
Sure,
Do you need it by the review?
no, it's just, the other one we have still valid, just for purposes of.
Okay.
Matt, do you have that in digital form? That we can
Yeah.
email to Chris? Okay.
The old one and.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Any new business, unscheduled business?
No, so
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Next.
so move.
A motion and a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you all. Thank you. Congratulations, everybody.
Meeting adjourned
Glad
at
we-
2:47.